Hey, praise the Lord, guys. It's Minister Straw. Now, on the third day, there was a marriage in Cana of Galilee, and Jesus and his disciples were there. Now, when they had no wine, they came and told his mother. His mother came and said unto him, They have no wine. But he responded and said, Woman, what have I to do with thee? Mine hour is not yet come. That's when she looked on them and said, Whatsoever he said unto thee, do. Now there were 6 water pots after the manner of cleansing. Now he told them to fill all 6 with water and then draw out and bear unto the governor. When they did this, the governor testified. He said, Surely men do put out the best wine first. Now after men have drunken that which is worse, but thou hast saved the best wine until last. And this he said, not knowing what was done of the water that was made wine. And this was the beginning of miracles that Jesus began to do. I would like to compare the water to the work that he does inside of us. When we first come to God, he comes in and he begins to change us. Now there's water on the inside at first, which is just the basic starting point. Now as time goes by, this water is turned into wine, and the best wine, as the governor testified. Now there's 2 sets of people. The governor, he never saw the water, he only saw the finished product. Some people will see you after God has made you and you're complete and it's time for you to be shown off to the world. This is what the governor experienced. Now there are those that they saw the water be put in. As a matter of fact, they put it in themselves. And then I'm sure at some point that these men, they at least tasted some of this water that was made wine. So these men, they saw the beginning product and they saw the end product, and they could only marvel as they experienced the entire process. Now Jesus said that his hour not yet come, but by the persistence of his mother, he stepped into his role of performing miracles. Now we have to be careful right here, because this is why the Roman Catholics, they worship Mary, because they say that she had the power to command Jesus himself, being that she must be higher. And even though Jesus was saying no at first, she was able to persuade him. So I guess by their reasoning, if you were to come to God and ask him for something and he said no, then you could go to Mary, because as demonstrated here, she is able to persuade him to change his mind. So this is where we have to be careful. The governor testified that men usually bring out the best wine first. But if you look at God, the way he does things, sometimes, he'll allow a situation to happen and for things to be a certain way before he steps in and fixes everything. So you see, his ways are not our ways, because the governor was saying that usually men put out the best, and then over time it trickles down to the worst. Isn't that what we see in a lot of our leaders? That, before they get in power, they're this type of person. They have all these promises and, they have to be on their best behavior. But then, when they get there and they've been there for a while, then, the monster starts to come out. They start to show you sides of them that you never knew existed. But God is the opposite. He'll take you and leave you better than where he found you. And the 6 water pots, they were used for cleansing, for the washing of the hands and the feet. I think why he chose these vessels is because if you think about it, like I said earlier, the water that's inside of us is where we start. And the word cleansing is what he does to make the final product, as we see here. So the fact that, the water was placed inside cleansing vessels is no coincidence. I am Straw Greenhorn.